Hello and welcome to our new book that we are reading, ready for our Bible book group. Bible book group will be meeting on the 11th of September. That's a Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock at Denholme Shared Church. We read Ruth last week and then we had Friday off, and now we are starting a new week and a new book with the Book of Esther. It's going to take us a couple of weeks to read. We're going to do it on one chapter a day on weekdays, starting chapter 1 today, just 10 chapters, so we'll finish next Friday. But join us as we read this book. It's quite a book. It's quite a story of sex and violence, really. It's a proper soap opera is this one, and we're going to begin chapter 1. I'm reading from the contemporary English version, and let's find out what happens in this very fascinating and, I must say, quite a disturbing book as well. So this is Esther, the Book of Esther, chapter 1. King Xerxes of Persia lived in his capital city of Susa and ruled 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia. During the third year of his rule, Xerxes gave a big dinner for all his officials and officers. The governors and leaders of the provinces were also invited, and even the commanders of the Persian and Median armies came. For 180 days he showed off his wealth and spent a whole lot of money to impress his guests with the greatness of his kingdom. King Xerxes soon gave another dinner and invited everyone in the city of Susa, no matter who they were. The eating and drinking lasted 7 days, and in the beautiful palace gardens. The area was decorated with blue and white cotton curtains tied back with purple linen cords that ran through silver rings fastened to marble columns. Couches of gold and silver rested on pavement that had all kinds of designs made from costly bright-coloured stones and marble and mother of pearl. The guests drank from gold cups, and each cup had a different design. The king was generous and said to them, "Drink all you want." Then he told his servants, "Keep their cups full." While the men were enjoying themselves, Queen Vashti gave the women a big dinner inside the royal palace. By the 7th day, King Xerxes was feeling happy because of so much wine, and he asked his 7 personal servants, Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, Abagtha, Zetha, and Carcass, to bring Queen Vashti to him. The king wanted her to wear her crown and let his people and his officials see how beautiful she was. The king's servants told Queen Vashti what he had said, but she refused to go to him, and this made him terribly angry. The king called in the 7 highest officials of Persia and Media. They were Kashina, Shetha, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsina, and Memucan. These men were very wise and understood all the laws and customs of the country, and the king always asked them what they thought about such matters. The king said to them, "Queen Vashti refused to come to me when I sent my servants for her. What does the law say I should do about that?" Then Memucan told the king and the officials, "Your Majesty, Queen Vashti has not only embarrassed you, but she has insulted your officials and everyone else in all the provinces. The women in the kingdom will hear about this, and they will refuse to respect their husbands. They will say, 'If Queen Vashti doesn't obey her husband, why should we?' Before this day is over, the wives of the officials of Persia and Media will find out what Queen Vashti has done, and they will refuse to obey their husbands. They won't respect their husbands, and their husbands will be angry with them. Your Majesty, if you agree, you should write for the Medes and Persians a law that can never be changed. This law would keep Queen Vashti from ever seeing you again. Then you could let someone who respects you be queen in her place. When the women in your great kingdom hear about this new law, they will respect their husbands, no matter if they are rich or poor." King Xerxes and his officials liked what Memucan had said, and he sent letters to all of the provinces. Each letter was written in the language of the province to which it was sent, and it said that husbands should have complete control over their wives and children. That's the first part of our story today. The first part of Queen Esther's story. We haven't met Queen Esther yet, but we've met Queen Vashti and King Xerxes, and he was very drunk after 7 days drinking on a second bout of banquet, and called for his wife Vashti, who wouldn't come, and he was really upset. And you may have heard this phrase about the law of the Medes and Persians, and it's a law that can never be overturned, and that's part of the key characteristics of our story. One of the elements within our story is that the fact that laws in Media and Persia cannot be changed. They can only stand as they are and be succeeded, but they can't be overturned or overruled. And so yeah, that's where the phrase the law of the Medes and Persians comes from. And we hear about how King Xerxes is encouraged to send out a new law so that the wives are obedient to their husbands, and so that the husbands have complete control over their wives and children. Gosh, what a way to start the story. But really, it's setting it up for what happens next. So come along tomorrow and find out what happens in chapter 2, when we begin to find out some more members of the cast of our story, and we meet Queen Esther. So, well, but slight spoiler there. We meet Esther. Find out what's going to happen tomorrow. Come and join me then. I'll see you then. All the very best. God bless. Bye-bye.